Hi,
hello. Welcome back to Two
one
Kims.
pod,
I am your first and only Kim, Unji Kim.
and I'm your last and only Kim Peter Kim.
Welcome back to the show, to the last podcast on Earth.
Hi, hi.
Our last episode was just about the war. Um, and during the last episode, we were talking about sort of becoming of age. We've talked about it a couple of times as sort of, it sounds like we both had the same awakening around politics
Yeah,
because of
like late
the
high school, early college.
because of
Yeah.
the what was happening because of Bush.
Let me
Um,
ask you this
yeah.
question. Was that also coincidentally around the time you started breaking away from like church and Koreans?
Um, no, for me, I was already.
You
It
were
was
already
when I
out of
said,
it?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
A
Basically,
pioneer.
thank you. I mean, honestly, it was sort of when I like when I what this truth be told, it was AP US history. We had a terrific teacher at my high school
Hmm.
who I think was a part of that. But I was always been a history buff, very specifically. Like,
Hmm.
can you imagine? I was an 11-year-old very into the Civil War.
Honey, me
So
too. Social
yeah,
studies and history was my jam.
my
Yeah.
jam.
Oh, that's so
So yeah,
interesting. I loved world history. You loved American history.
yes,
Oh, interesting. Hmm.
very specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, your AP Euro very. I
I
had no interest.
I
Now,
killed
as a
AP World History. Yeah.
like maybe now I have more interest, but at the time couldn't be less.
I think it's because for me, American history didn't make sense to me. I was like, we're so young. What the fuck are we gonna learn from our own history?
Sure.
Like I felt like I needed like ancient shit. Like I loved the Egyptian stuff. I loved all the like Persian Empire, Ottoman Empire,
Hmm.
Mesopotamia. Like I loved all of that. Like
And they
world
got great
conquest,
names. Yes, you got
empire
Visigoths, you
building.
got
Oh my
Huns, you
God.
got I mean, just like even just as a roving band of
And
people.
actually great names like Cyprus the Great, Alexander the Great.
That's right. That's right. Like what's the guy? There's especially the Persian era. There's some yes, great ones. And
Mhm.
then of course, um yeah, medieval. I guess in my mind, it's the same reason why I don't particularly love the ocean. It is the expanse, like the vastness of it is very over. But for other people, and particularly it seems like boys, they really like a vast universe. So like
Mhm.
Marvel, like that sort of thing, where it's like just a ton of different
Spread
characters.
expanding. Yeah, yeah. You wanted a
Correct.
contained story.
Correct. I want to be able to
Okay.
know it all.
Oh,
And
okay. Interesting. Yeah.
so, and be able to connect very specifically people and pedigree. And,
To your
when you
region, to your own region.
yes.
Yeah.
And it's finite because like as you were saying, it's so young.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
everything is like I could inside of maybe like two or three books learn everything about like that thing.
You were like a completionist.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love to finish a list,
Yeah.
like a
Okay.
set of something.
Yeah.
So like all the
You feel
Penguin
proud.
classics.
Yeah. You love a checklist and then when you check it off, you're proud.
Yeah, I don't know if it was I just like knowing that there's an end to it, maybe. Like there's like the same like it is the vastness. Like that's why I like a corner. I like to know the end of every single plane.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
there's that corner. This is the furthest sea where this ends and this
Yeah.
ends and this ends.
Yeah.
So versus the ocean where it's just goes on forever. The
Infinite.
horizon never, yes.
Yeah. It's too much.
So it's too
Okay.
much. And especially when I was younger. And when we talk about it, Marvel Universe, like that's the reason why people are so into it. It's so vast.
Yeah.
For me, I really like the Catholic saints because it was not as, what I mean? It's like you could know exactly who all of them were.
I see. Okay, you were like, these are the Pokemon that I'm allowed to play with. Yeah,
Correct.
and I caught them
And
all.
it cut them all, and there's no more.
Yeah,
Because who's doing miracles these days?
yeah.
And so like
David Blaine, how dare you?
no, he's godless. But like it's just that's the reason why I was very into American history for myself. And
Mm.
it seems like a lot of the
Boys love.
men and
Yeah,
yes that I know particularly enjoyed world.
yeah.
I yeah, and now as I've gotten older, I find more, I find myself more and more interested in this, and probably because
Yeah.
my own sort of personality being more willing to sort of engage in that vastness and not being so keen on knowing, like needing to know every
Yeah.
part of that corner. I'm clicking on every single link instead of a Wikipedia entry. I
Oh
don't
my
know,
God. Wow.
like that, like that. So absolutely. So I think that, I was always like that. So when you talk about at least junior year, like getting awoken, because also, the Clinton era, I think would have been it's hard to explain to young people the Clinton era sort of Democrat, because culture itself was like establishing to become modern.
Hmm.
When you look at like there is this um there's like a bunch of movies in the mid and early 90s just about sexual harassment and just about like this rising phenomenon among women that are like, hey,
That's not
don't talk to
okay.
me like that. Yeah, don't talk to
Yeah.
me like that.
You okay?
And and it was like a huge part of the cultural discourse at
Hmm.
this time, in the same way that Me Too, but Me Too could not have happened unless this thing in the 90s happened,
Of course.
right? And there's this podcast that I was listening to that I love, which is called it's about like the 80s erotica sort of era of movie, and like the 90s era of like kind of erotic thriller. Um, in which like for some reason Michael Douglas was in all of them. And
Uh-huh.
um just like there's this kind of conversation even around political correctness. Like that term is when we were around. It
That
came
started when we were, yeah, in the 80s.
like that's literally when we came of age, when that idea of being woke or being sensitive to someone's cultural background
Right.
emerged into the zeitgeist.
Correct.
So when we talk about being politically aware, right, we're like the first prototype of what it is to be like modern political beings.
When do you think the N word became the N word?
I it was See, this we were talking about this before we got on the pod. In my memory, it was in and out of use for me throughout my life. I really did not
Throughout your
hear,
youth, you mean?
yes, like where,
Like not
like my,
currently.
not currently, but I'm saying like,
I'm like, where are you? um,
I'm in the UAE, but like
correct. Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever used it full stop?
no, not like when I would say
Wow.
this. Mm-mm.
Okay, so when I was, as you know, this is not a surprise to anyone. Middle school, high school, me and all my Korean friends were calling each other the N word,
Of course,
as with the intention of using it as bro
correct.
or my
I was
guy or
around it
whatever.
all the time. I was around it all the time. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so you stood at that
Hmm.
point because you and I are the same age,
Hmm.
that that was rampant in our
Yes.
subculture,
Yes.
but you did not choose to participate.
No.
Why? And this is very important to me.
I'll be honest. I think
Did
that,
your friends use it?
yeah, I mean, like, if when I'm around Asian gangster, of course, this being used. I would say that because I was also in equal measure hanging out with like other immigrant nerdy kids, not happening there, right?
Okay, so I think this is the answer because you and I ostensibly on paper
Hmm.
same,
Hmm.
similar background, same kind of crazy parents,
But the New York,
socioeconomic,
yeah,
but the New York versus Chicago in that no, that's not true. Yeah, New York and Chicago are different, but You chose to diversify your surroundings. I did
because
not.
but you couldn't.
No,
It was
that's not
it would have been,
true.
but it would have been harder for you because there's just so many more Koreans around. And there's also,
Yes, there was a higher pressure to stay homogenous
and you
in that,
could, yeah,
but we all could hang out with other types of people. We just chose not to because we were afraid of being ostracized, being made fun of, being kicked out of our only community that we knew. Like,
sure,
I didn't feel brave enough. And there were many different types of cliques in my school. Many, many,
sure.
many. You know,
Because,
like,
but a lot of them were also all, you know,
no, but they were like, Magic the Gathering cholas. Like, they were very like sub-specific cultural people
for
that I
sure, for
could have
sure,
hung out with. Like,
sure,
B-boy kids were all multicultural, so like,
yeah, yeah.
not that I would B-boy, but you know what I mean? There were all these different like clubs and things. And because I went to a very city high school, there were so many
Prestigious.
prestigious, sure. There were so many different types of kids.
Hmm.
And I would see them all sitting around, campus. And was there a part of me that was like a little curious? For sure. But I
Hmm.
think the curiosity, like my sexuality, was immediately self stamped out for
Back into the
preservation.
closet. Back
Yeah.
into the closet. Yeah, yeah.
Even cultural, like closet, or like wanting to be different in any way.
Interesting. Yeah, I never, that was not such a thing. I will say, I think some of the other one, like just because there weren't as many Korean kids that I could have hung out with, even if I wanted to be homogenous.
You
And
couldn't have like a whole crew.
no,
Okay.
it was
That's
like, because even when I tried to, she said no to me. She said, no, thank you.
the one girl. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so I mean,
And
like,
then you're like, oh, I'm screwed then. Yeah.
so then I'm going back to the people that like me and that live close,
Right.
And
Right.
I mean, there's like, it's equal parts, but also so my
We were taking buses and buses to hang out with Koreans. Like,
crazy,
I, but
crazy.
I find crazy, and I find that such to be such a bad thing in retrospect, and not completely bad. Obviously, there were great things about it, but
Yeah, I mean, because I look at that and there's parts of me that are envious
you
because,
are
yeah, because I mean, she's still my friend, like
who the one
a
that said no
Korean.
to you?
No, that's different.
Okay.
Enemy. But
Oh,
the friend but she's also a year older than me. Like, that's what I mean. It was just like one or two per, like, especially if they were
I see. It was
girls,
so
right?
little, slim pickings.
Slim pickings. But
Yeah.
also, I'm still friends with her. Like, we are
Mhm.
still friends. And I value that relationship. I think it was very, very vital and very important. If we had had a whole crew, it would have been kind of nice, you know?
Yeah.
Um, I look at that and I do envy that a little bit. I will say, Peter, the other component to this, I think, is that for me in particular, because my parents were in and out of the beauty supply business, I was always around a lot of Black people, like in a real way, like on every
Right.
weekend,
Right.
school breaks. But because it's hard to explain, but like because their beauty supplies were never like super successful, most of the time, the ladies that came to their beauty supplies were older church ladies,
Mm.
right? Like that kind of Black lady.
Hmm.
That's not the kind of language I'm using. That's not the kind
Sure.
of vibe
Well, of
I'm
course, of
putting.
course.
But that's my relationship with it. So that I know better. That
That's
would
what I
never,
mean.
yeah, it would never occur to me.
You knew better. Like, if I had even one Black friend
Yeah.
growing up, he would have been like, "Hey, can you? I know you and your bros do that, but like, can you not? Like,
Yeah.
that's hurtful." If even one person had said that to me,
Hmm.
I think I would have completely stopped. And I did stop using it on my own accord sophomore year because I was like, wait, what the fuck am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
and not even because it was not PC. I was feeling cringe about like being such a fangsta.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That came before the cultural sensitivity of not using the N-word. Like,
I mean, you're culturally sensitive to being lame. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
culture only
Like,
points one way.
yeah.
And I was
Like you
facing the
were,
other way.
yeah, like like you knew that this
Yeah.
was like no longer relevant.
Kosher. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
So
And
I mean, that's always. I mean, yeah, I guess there's always sort of like black people around, and
I think
yeah, I never
Notorious
heard it like that.
B.I.G., may he rest, was really the fulcrum of when Korean kids felt a kinship to blackness, right? Especially Korean American New
The New
Yorkers,
York of it all, yeah,
because we were like, oh, he's our king,
for sure,
and we are one of these guys. Because we didn't
for sure.
see anything else, so we didn't know how to stamp ourselves onto a culture. We were like, okay, we're not black, but like we're hip hop
I
because we're New
wonder. I mean,
York, you know?
because I feel like I'm sure there are other Korean like beauty supply kids. I wonder what their relationship with it was like. Because I mean, for me, I don't know if it would have been different. One, if I was a boy, right? Two, if my
That's another
parents,
thing. The girls did not say it to each other. That wasn't a girl thing to say to each other.
because
It
it's
was
not
a
the
boy.
same.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wonder, so if I was a boy, one, and two, if my parents had had a more successful beauty supply that
Hmm.
was popular with younger black people,
Uh-huh.
like if that would have been different. Because I'm telling you, I sold mostly nice wigs to older church ladies.
Okay.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
talking, like a classic. And like during that era, you got the
So you're calling
purple.
them ma'am, not the
Yes.
N-word.
No.
Yeah.
You know? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm doing a lot of ma'ams.
Yeah.
And so there's a
You're
lot of
saying
respect.
Miss Sharon. Or
Yes,
yes,
that's
exactly.
correct. There's a lot of respect. There's a lot of respect there.
I just like look back at my past, and I think it's because I have a nephew now too, and I'm like, I would really want to encourage my nephew
Hmm.
to seek diversity of voices, cultures, all of it,
Hmm.
and the homogeneity of what I experienced in high school, or what I saw in complete retrospect, 30 years now, out of it. Wow, it's been 3 decades since I've been a teenager. Anyway, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Okay, new podcast topic unlocked.
whoa, whoa!
And yet I still feel so stupid.
I feel 14, but I know it's been 30 years since I've been 14.
Dude, it's
What
so
the
great.
actual fuck are we saying?
Wait,
It's been
we,
10 years since we started this podcast.
I know.
Why we spent one of those 3 decades together? Angie, Angie, the calcification, like what is happening?
Dude, can I
I
tell
don't
you
feel
something?
right. I don't
I
feel
don't.
good. I don't feel right.
I actually felt the oldest I felt, Peter, was I just recently got like the one of my commercials got renewed, so I got like a chunk of change, and I got the email.
Ooh.
Thank you. I just got the email, and Peter, when I tell you, I started spending that money immediately.
Yes,
Like,
ma'am.
and like I mean the
You're not
chicken
even looking at the net numbers. You're looking at gross. You're like,
gross.
bitch.
It's gross. Guess what? I'm disgusted and I love it. And when I tell you that I hadn't even signed anything, but I'm spending this money. This is the oldest I felt, Peter. I literally stopped myself
Oh.
from spending that money because I was like, hey, you need to be more responsible.
Oh my God. Look at
It's been
you.
it's been this long. And I
Wow,
was like,
44 finally.
it's
You're the
happened.
you're the fire horse.
Thank you. It's happened. And when I tell you that was the oldest I've ever felt, where I was like, oh my God, I'm being
Wow.
fiscally responsible.
Responsible. Oh, oh my
I'm
God.
thinking, I'm thinking through decisions.
You're conservative.
What the fuck?
You're a Republican.
I'm a fiscal conservative. Okay.
Yeah.
Socially liberal fiscal conservative.
Ew, the worst type of person.
I know. I know. I mean, like truly, like it was one of those things where I'm like, am I mature? Like it really kind of freaked me out.
That you matured. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad. You need to start.
What?
It's time. You have
Support my whimsy.
you have two children. It's time to give up quirk.
It's time they grow up.
Okay. Get out of your house. Yeah, right. I bet you're like jonesing for every moment with them because you see how fast they're growing.
They really do. It's
And not
like,
even growing, but like mentally they're gonna be over you in like a second.
yeah, I mean, it's less so like that with these kids, by the
Oh,
way.
really?
I was thinking about this. There was this I was I was watching this thing about um this man was talking about, once his parents passed away, about how there were all these like unanswered questions, right? I'm sure you had this feeling as well. Like there's like so much about this person you didn't know.
Mhm.
And, I think about that with my parents all the time. Like I just like there are all these questions and stories we've never heard because we don't ask, we don't have time, and we hate each other. All these things.
Mhm.
There's like I get those every once in a while on Instagram, like those things are like, oh, look at this, use this card to facilitate a regular conversation with your parent.
Uh-huh.
And I was thinking about that. Like my son will never have that problem. Like my
No.
son asks me questions constantly. Like he knows. He recently asked me who my favorite point guard from the 90s was.
Oh, he's curious.
Dude, I'm like making shit up about like I'm very opinionated. I'm just like making stuff up because he's asking me so many questions. I don't know anything about my mom. Would not think to ask her something like this. Her favorite
No.
what?
Well, it's because you don't want to. It's as
I mean,
simple
like, I
as
guess I
that. Like
could.
you don't really want to know.
But it's because we've never even had that sort of relationship where I would feel
That's
comfortable
what I
asking
mean.
her something.
That's what
Yeah.
I mean. Like you have no desire to be intimate with your mother.
Even when we were, right? Even when she would, and we were quite close. Like,
When were you
no
guys
bucket
close?
when I was young. I mean, I was her best fucking friend. No bucket up doggo. Like because it's lonely. So she
That
had no
is
sisters.
that is a problem when your kid is your best friend and then your kid learns that you're toxic. And then they
Yeah.
go bye.
I
That's what happened to you and your mom.
Nope, someone that came to you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like if
yeah.
you're
That's a lot of
leaving.
pressure.
But it's also, even during this era, I mind you, I wasn't asking her questions. She was giving me a lot of information on her own, right?
You
Like
didn't have
so
to.
I
A question,
so
you can't get a word in.
I can't word it. So that's what I mean. At least with this current generation, Peter, I feel like I'm talking about the 19-year-old kids I teach, like they are into their parents. Like it's not
You
the
know
same.
why? Because they have to be. Because they need a home. Ain't no kids moving out anymore, honey. It's going back to a nuclear family till you die. And this is with the collectivism that we wanted.
It is.
Okay? So your kids are going to live with you forever and they're going to have marry and bring their children in and then you're going to be watching them like it's going to be a thing. And you know what? Be happy about it because guess what? They can't afford to live on their own and neither can you. So they're going to have to go work and pay the half of the mortgage
Hmm.
do the whole thing. Like that's just what's gonna happen. And I like that. I'm into that. Why do we all have to be alone and like Western expansion this ass? Like, let's keep it chill.
Hmm.
Okay, 13 colonies. Let's not we don't need to purchase Louisiana.
All right, we didn't need Seward's Folly. Okay,
Yeah,
is that
okay.
that's not even we got non-contiguous states.
Yeah, fuck. What does that even mean? Leave that to the indigenous. Leave it
Thank
alone.
you.
Leave
It's
it alone.
non-contiguous. That's God saying it doesn't belong to us. You know what I mean? That's already
Yeah, a
it's already trying
mountain
to run
range
away.
said stay out.
It's Bill Cosby's eye over there. It's traveling. You know what I mean? Trying to look away. What a
Can you
strange
believe?
bull.
Can you believe Bill Cosby's still alive?
Can you believe he's out of
Of
jail?
that, I do believe. I can't believe he's still alive.
I mean, all of it. Like there's
Who
so
is
many
in? I mean,
signs.
there's no one in jail that like actually deserves to be in jail.
Mm, I'm gonna go ahead and say there are a few people that deserve to be in jail and not a part of society.
No, I
Um,
meant sorry, like the people who really deserve to be in jail are probably not in there.
yes, anyone with the last name Sackler that belongs to that family.
No,
I'm
yeah.
looking at you.
Anyone
Uh,
anyone who owns a bank. Uh, anyone who got bailed out from the taxpayers for doing predatory loans.
and you live in over 1,500 square feet jail.
Jail,
You know what I mean?
prison time. Yeah.
Because I will say this, like currently, like with everything going on, I'm also like trying to redo my current I'm undergoing like a huge renovation project. Like Peter, I'm buying tools. I brought
What are you renovating?
the home.
Oh, is it falling apart or are you trying to flip it?
It's falling apart, and
Oh,
it's like the
okay.
idea was that we would move. The idea was that we were going to
Or
move.
wait, you don't want to pay someone? Or are you like,
We're
this will be cheaper?
Yes,
Okay.
we're trying to,
Fix
because we
it.
were supposed to move, like
Right.
4 years ago, and so um and since we're staying put due to the current economic instability and crises,
Yeah.
and paying like $3,000 a month in insurance because it's a family of four on the AC fucking A.
Oh my God. Oh
Um,
my God. Oh my God. Oh my
you know what
God.
I mean?
Oh
Can you
my
imagine
God.
if
Oh
like
my
all
God.
I have to say is if this is public healthcare, what's private? Is that why it's a secret? Like, I mean, why? What's happening?
I don't
Three
know.
thousand
Oh,
dollars
we gotta move. I gotta move
to all. Where you going to go?
somewhere where I could be see a doctor for free and not pay $3,000 a month. That's
Would it be
how much
funny?
my Cobra was gonna be. Can you believe?
500?
No, almost 3,000 a month. It was like 2,000 something something. I was like, uh, what is Cobra?
Why is it
What?
trying to sting me?
Yeah,
What?
bitch. The fuck is this? Get me out of here.
Is
Get
it
me
that is that
literally out
California
of
shit?
here.
Is that
No,
California shit?
Cobra is like that insurance, like where like you
In
lose it
between, yes.
in
But I mean
between
that's
things.
high for
Crazy
that's
high.
really high. For a single?
Yes.
That's why I'm asking if that's like California shit, because that's really high.
Maybe it is. I don't know. You guys, help! Shit is not good. Um,
But I mean,
and
this is all to say, like, at least with what's happening in this country, and like going back to, wait, I think we're trying to talk about our political awakenings in like junior high, right?
yeah, yeah.
In junior year in high school, like about what I was trying to get to is, and ultimately kind of coming back to this is like, I remember the conversation on healthcare when Hillary was in office,
Me too.
right? And
Me
like this
too.
has been going on. It's been a third rail since. This Social Security has been ever since. What's wild is that in this current climate, given what, like with Trump now, like I look back at how much it's funny. Perspective is funny in this way because I think both of us were really Bush was the original Hitler sort of people,
Hmm.
right? We were definitely on that bandwagon. And
W. Bush. W. Bush.
W, yes,
Yeah.
the original Hitler. Because the first one, I remember the yellow ribbons of from the first Iraq War.
Hmm.
Um, Going from that to what is currently happening and my own feelings about it, right? And feeling so, I do not, like you were saying in the last episode, like there's a part to me where I have to remember that the war is happening, right? Like the needle inside me, like I can forget it. When I was younger, I don't think I ever forgot that, like there was,
Yeah. It's hard for me to forget now because
yeah.
I'm watching it.
Oh,
I'm watching it like from phones. Like people are taping the war from their phones.
well, you have, I mean, my Max was doing that when Russia invaded the Ukraine. Like, dude,
He had an iPhone?
no, he has what was happening with the Russian soldiers, they were putting it all up on Telegram. So
Oh.
there it was like when you're talking about the war,
I see. I see. He was watching
like
on Telegram.
literally
Oh,
watching the war. Like Russian
yeah.
soldiers filming the
Filming it.
thing, upload, and like
Yeah.
just like watching the war.
Brought to you
And
by
it's like
DraftKings. Yeah. Bet on how
fucking
today's going to turn out with the missile strikes. Like,
I
we're not far from that.
when I tell you that I think DraftKings and this sports betting is going to go the same way of the opioid crisis, mark my words.
100%.
Mark my words.
I believe that, and
March 4th.
we could wrap this up here. I really do believe, and California is one of the only places that it's not allowed right now. Thank God.
Yes.
It is a Republican, and not just Republican, but 1% agenda to
Steal.
completely steal and make an entire swath of hundreds of millions of people servile.
Indentured servitude, bitch.
Indentured servitude.
You're about to be
Correct.
indentured servituded.
Correct.
Usurious rates. Like, what are you
Yes.
talking about?
Yes.
I'm already
These banks are
seeing,
gonna, these credit cards are gonna own you.
you know,
You-
like
Like Korea, like you know how Korea turned into like this, yeah.
everyone has credit. Everyone has
that
credit that.
debt, and that's what this is for.
Indebted. Like,
Yes.
that's literally
It's
the
so that
thing,
you
bitch.
can never get out of your service hole or whatever the
You never
fuck
heard of a
job.
debtor's prison? That's what this bad credit is as damaging to your life, right?
That's why
All of
one
you,
thing I have is good credit.
one thing I do not have of many is good credit. So let me tell
Oh
you,
no.
bitch,
But
I know
still? You haven't fixed it?
when I tell you that it is, first of all, like because my parents stole my identity, so I'm already starting off with like bad
Oh,
credit there. And
right.
then you know what I mean? Like I've just, when I tell you the sort of the prison that you put, like what bad
It's
credit,
this is why
it's a
people kill
psychic
themselves in Korea. It's a pressure that you cannot, it's like a mental and
prison.
emotional pressure that you cannot escape from.
When I tell you that this is the most insidious, one of the most insidious ways, right? And the new opioid question, like I'm already seeing young comics do bits, like sets about their debt. Like that's like a thing in the zeitgeist currently.
I have this new joke that I'm doing that hits so hard and it shouldn't hit this hard.
It's about the parlay.
It's about, well, I'm actually gonna do this in New York, but this is gonna be after New York, so who cares? Um, I'm doing this like longer bit about me fostering dogs,
Mm-hmm.
and I signed up for this doodle agency because I'm not a great person. So like I was like, oh, allergies. So like I'm only fostering doodles, and people
Okay, so like
always go
left
like,
behind designer dogs. Okay.
correct, and people are like, who would leave behind a designer dog?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like this Louis
where would
Vuitton
that
is
even come
scratched.
from?
You can
Yeah,
have it. Yeah.
yeah. And then I go into a thing about like, sure, you might think like who would give it up, but sometimes a nice white family is devastated by sports gambling,
Yes.
and they lose their Venice bungalow to DraftKings. And people, it kills so hard because people are inherently know someone or they themselves
R.
are fucking addicted. My brother, I don't ask numbers, but I'm like, remember you have a kid. I
You got to
said,
take it off the
remember you
phones.
have a kid.
You got to take off. You got to take it off the phones.
You have to make sports gambling as hard as the dark web. Like you
When I
need to
tell,
know someone. Like what happened to the bookie?
thank you. We
Bring
yeah,
back
go
the
back to-
bookie.
Can we go back to a better era of villain? Hello.
The old is the new. The old is the new.
The old is the new. The old is the new. This is what
Yes,
I've been
this is
saying
the way.
because
This is the
this
way.
is the way. I'm sorry, but like that
That
is
basically is MAGA, by the way. What we're saying. What we're saying is MAGA.
fiscal conservative, social liberal.
Old is the new. Old is the new. All right, we gotta go before we get canceled. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Bye.